Welcome everyone back to the Spurs 9501 podcast following the Everton versus Tottenham game, Conte's first game back in the Premier League. I'm Cam from Florida, sunny Florida.
Cam from Connecticut. Nice to be back.
Nico?
Yeah. I'm from Tromsø, Norway, all up Arctic Circle.
Yeah. Please forgive him because he's so used to nighttime. He's
yeah. I'm a bit lagging, but I'm okay. Yeah.
Right. So, Jan, would you want to take us through the lineup?
Yeah. So, basically, same starting lineup that we had midweek versus Vitesse. Lloris in goal. Royal playing the right wing back. Dyer, Romero, Davis as our centre backs. Davis on the left hand side. Reguilon on the left hand side. With Skip and Højbjerg in the middle, and Lucas, Son, and Kane up front.
Excuse me. Great, thank you. So the formation, as you said, it's the BBC are calling it a 3-4-2-1. How do you call it?
Well, I mean, I would say it's more like a 3-5-3, if you will. You know, we got the 3 back, or even a 5-2-3, maybe. I guess Son and Lucas stayed up the whole time. I never saw them really drop back into midfield at all, which would give me the indication that they were, playing a little deeper.
All right, I'm just going to quickly run through the stats, and then we'll see what we'll talk about the game. So just to run through the stats, I'm going to say Everton had 45% of the possession. We had 55. I thought it felt at times they had more than us, but there you go. They had 12 shots overall. We had 8. They had 2 on target. We had, again, 0 on target. 4 corners for Everton, only 2 corners for Spurs. I think that's something we need to talk about. We committed 17 fouls and they committed 13. I think the most important stat specifically for this game, guys, is we haven't had a shot on target since Harry Kane's header against West Ham, which was 2.5 games ago, which works out to me at close to nearly 4 hours of football play without a shot on target. So, well, that's pretty interesting. So, welcome back, Nico. I just want to ask you, what was your main take from the game? I think it's really hard to break it down in half since no one scored or did very much. So just take us through what were your main takings from Conte's first game?
Yeah, it was very, my focus was the shape of the team. And I think the shape was solid. I think it was organized. And that was the most important thing for me because he's had some days to work with the players. You just need some basic structure and some instructions so you get a composed, settled shape. Defensively is most important in the start. I remember Pochettino, start of his period was exactly the same. It was a bit boring, but it was solid. It was not much risk. Yeah, not much risk taking. And for me, this is the most important, not to lose the first matches, to get to stay. So they believe the project. You can't lose because then the doubt will come. So for me, I'm not so worried about the offensive side of it. I know that will come. But I was very interested in with Dyer and Davis both starting or finishing the match. I was worried, of course, so to get away with a point and none of them doing gigantic mistakes. For me, this is a sign of, he knows what he's doing, building from the back.
Jan, would you agree with that then? You think that?
I would. I think it's important to talk about how, there were moments in the match where Everton had were applying pressure on us and we seemed composed throughout, which is nice. Nice to feel. Like, I don't feel like we've had that with Nuno. It's been a more mature performance. It wasn't obviously we weren't at our best, and this team has a long way to go. And there's definitely a lot of players that started today that really long term, aren't going to be in our starting 11, such as Dyer and Davis. But Conte seemed content with the result. A draw is not the worst, considering Liverpool just dropped points and Chelsea just dropped points this weekend. And obviously we're not at that level right now. This team is not as good as it will be post January and next season. So, positives to take. I think we're definitely missing. You saw Skip and Højbjerg in the middle, both did an excellent job, but we're missing a third centre mid who can actually spread the ball out. Like that would make such a difference overnight. Change Lucas out for one of those players, and we become a aggressive team that actually gets in the box. I think my main talking point today is Kane again. Unfortunately, maybe this is just going to take some time to get back into the rhythm of things for him, but he was not fantastic. I'm surprised he stayed on the pitch 90 minutes. But who else are you going to bring on? I guess that's why we're linked with Vlahovic so strongly.
Mm-hmm. Interesting take. So I'll give my 2 pennies worth as well. I thought it was Conte came into this game. It was going to be, as you say, Nico, he's been in post since Wednesday. So you had 4 days to do something with them. You've got 3 fitness coaches for an extremely unfit team. They can't work miracles. It's going to take a while to get the fitness levels up of these players. I think that the team that he picked was based on fitness levels and not on skill, because clearly never bought. He didn't bring in Ndombele on right until the end. He never bought De Leon. I don't believe he believes they're at the level or the fitness level or mental level that he needs them to play. I think what really worried me about this game was I think we were pretty solid at the back and we played pretty well most of the game, but we seemed to be overrun a lot of the times. We were very poor at getting to the second ball, and I felt that our passing was so sloppy, especially in the centre of the field. A lot of the times when we were making good breaks. I mean, and Fabian Delph is a good player, but he ain't that good a player. But we made him seem like a genius on his positioning, because every time we tried to put a ball through, it was always going to Delph. He was just mopping everything up. I didn't see one through ball make it from either Son, not from Mora, and not from Kane, which basically resulted in us not having possession in the box.
Yeah, but just interacting with you there, I think when the fitness levels aren't that great, it makes sense for me to be compact and to not take too much risk with the passing, because if you do, you will always chase the ball. It's better to keep it in the team and build the confidence, not losing possession too much, and then slowly build up the fitness levels. Just a take.
Yeah, so let's just look at that then. Let's just go through that team, Jem. So let's start at the back. I mean, you had Emerson. Let's talk about them all. Because you had Emerson on one side, you had Romero, Dyer in the middle, Davis on the other side, Reguilon, and you had Doherty that came on too. So basically, out of those 6, what was your take? Which ones did you think did well, or which ones do you think I'm not going to stay in this team?
Royal, I think, played well today. He's still not up to Premier League. No, he's not at his peak, and I think he can still get better and better. But he's playing week by week. He's becoming more comfortable with the league, so I think he's going to just keep on improving. I saw a lot of people on Twitter giving Dyer some a bad rating, but he played well. I thought he did well. He kept Richarlison under reps, and he's a tricky player to keep control of. I can't think of many shots they had. Just in general, the back 5 was good, except for Reguilon. He didn't play so well. He got taken off, and Doherty came on, and that's the first time we've seen him all season, it feels like. So he played on his opposite wing too, and there's one movement he made that I can remember where he ran down. He beat his man. He pulled back and changed onto his stronger foot and put in a good cross. Obviously, no one was there to do anything with it, but it's a cross coming in from a wing back, which is something we've been missing for all season. I haven't seen many crosses. I would like to see a stat on how many crosses we've had all season. I bet it's very low. And even in this match, it's probably comparable to what our full season was like. We put in a lot of crosses today, and that's good to see. You talked about the corners that we had. I know you're talking about the defense right now, but I just remembered we had 2 corners, and one of them was that 94th minute Lo Celso corner. And God, how frustrating is that guy?
Yeah.
How frustrating is Lo Celso? Makes a beautiful shot, hits the post, but other than that, I don't know. Is he good? Is he not good?
We will come on to the midfield. I just wanted to talk about the defense, because I know Nico's making a big player saying that it's important to get it right at the back. We know that's when Pochettino started. We all thought, excuse me, that's when Mourinho would start. and Nuno would start, but they seem to after a few games just let the whole back line turn into a bunch of headless chickens. So what do you think of the performance of those 5 players, and which ones would you keep? Which ones would you get rid of, Nico?
At the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's too early to say now because he has the same team twice now, and I wouldn't say any of these players have done anything wrong, enough wrong to get out of the team. So I think he's going to keep the same team more or less, and I think he will rotate a bit slowly and systematically now to see who will make an impact. I think he reminds me so much of Pochettino, the first period. Very early, I know, but I think also these players like Winks, like Doherty, and so on, they will get some chances to prove if they're good enough for the team. And I think actually one of them might benefit very much from his methodical coaching, and he seems very, very secure as a manager, a coach. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of these players that we don't like or wants to sell, they will get some uprising form.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, for me, I would say, I mean, I'm surprised that we haven't seen Sanchez playing instead of Davis, but Davis hasn't really made a mistake. He's probably played 2 games better than we've seen him play probably for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Really shows what you can do with this short space of time. So I was surprised at that. I'm surprised that Tanganga didn't come on instead of Doherty. Very surprised at that. Maybe, I feel, guys, that it's about fitness levels, and maybe Conte's not happy with his levels of fitness and is working on them to get their levels up much higher. So, I mean, we didn't do too badly at the back. We did get overrun a bit, and we're just sticking with the back. I mean, they did have a very good shout for a penalty. It was given. Yeah. VAR would have overturned it. What do you think then, Jam? Do you think it was a penalty?
I thought from the off it wasn't a penalty. It was very clear Lloris got a hand to it. I mean, it was risky from him, but he did his job. He touched the ball. He got it away. It was minimal. It was minimal. It was risky, but he touched it, and there's no denying that.
Oh, Dika, what's your take?
Yeah, I was extremely worried, and even looking at the VAR replay, I wasn't sure. So I was just like begging. So I was so happy when it wasn't given.
Well, all right. Let me put it another way, Nico. If that was a Spurs player running on that, would you have said it was a sure shot penalty?
Yeah, of course I want to have it regardless. But I couldn't see if he actually touched the ball first. Like several replays after. I don't know what you guys, but I couldn't see. Did he touch it, or did he take the player first?
Yeah, well, I think that's a really good point. I think what happened is they both touched it at the same time. It was the trajectory of the ball that went away from Lloris's action because he pushed it that way. That probably gave him the benefit of the doubt. But it was a call that could have gone either way, Jim. At one time, looking at the VAR, I was convinced that he touched it. And then later on, we know the guy's got his foot on the ball and Lloris's hand is there at the same time. It could have gone either way.
I'm going to argue that VAR saw that was obviously an error because the VAR official saw that he touched it, and then the referee on the field went to look at the monitor and saw that he touched. I mean, that's like, it's pretty clear. That's what VAR is there for. Yeah, in lifetime, I thought Lloris touched it, you know? So I don't know. I don't think it was as...
I thought he touched it. The penalty given was very, very quick and very harsh. But
I mean, even when they gave the penalty, the referee was like 20 meters away. There's no way he saw if Lloris touched it or not.
It's about the angle. It's very hard to judge.
It's very interesting to look at how the linesmen never get involved in these decisions.
They don't anymore. They don't do anything anymore, though, do they? Players like 10 meters offside. We'll let them play. VAR will watch over it.
Let play on. Let them all celebrate the goal, and then we'll give it up. Yeah, I mean, it's very confusing in that. So let's move on then and say that it seemed to me, I mean, clearly the stats show that they had the better of the chances. Our chances were few and far between. We had some good plays in the centre of the field, but I'm really not convinced by this midfield and the way that it's playing, and with the Skipper and Højbjerg. I don't think Højbjerg had a very good game today. Skip definitely did. I think Mora didn't have a really good game today, given what he could have done. Son did either. And I think Son probably had the worst game. However, Son was given man of the match from Spurs' point of view, according to the BBC, was our best player. I didn't see it myself. We'll come on to Kane afterwards. What did you think of those four and their performance, Nico?
I think it's hard to separate the players. I think it was a decent collective performance. I agree with Højbjerg. I'm not convinced by him. I'm not convinced but he's very good with his theatrical body language, and he's very smart. But in terms of ability, I think he lacks a lot. To be honest, I'm always going back to when we had Modric and Scott Parker. We had a perfect duo in the center end, and he, for me, is I'm not convinced by Højbjerg, to be honest. I'm not. Yeah.
Gavin?
Well, I feel like our center mids together are missing someone. You know, I think Højbjerg is. Skip, I think, was my man of the match today. I think he was everywhere that he needed to be. But Højbjerg seems to sometimes he's the covering man, right? Skips the solid, the rock in the middle where Højbjerg would run around and cover the spaces that need to be covered. And they're doing their job. What they're missing is a third person in there to help them spread the ball. Because what you have right now is three players up top that are literally doing nothing until the ball gets to them. You know, and Lucas, Son, and Kane. And the ball either gets to them and they have to dribble forward, or they have to come back and get the ball to dribble forward, or the final ball that's being played into them is never good enough. They're never in a dangerous position to receive a final ball, and that's what it's been like pretty much all season. They have to either work super hard to get the goal.
You've got it in one way, Jam. It's that area that we're missing. We know we're missing that player. So let's just talk about that area for a little bit before we come on to the elephant in the room, which is Harry Kane. But let's talk about this bit first, because I feel that you bought a Lo Celso that was actually brought in to play that role. The most frustrating player that we saw, can hit the ball really well, and some of the awful play that he did. But then he brought on for a very little bit of time, and Ndombele. I thought Ndombele was hopeless. He
was hopeless. But to be fair to him, he had like 6 minutes to warm up to a really high-paced game.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I was very, very.
He was poor.
So you've got these two players there. You've got Mora, who likes to run with the ball, and he did a bit, but he'll beat two players, and then he'll always be beaten by the third before he makes the pass. He doesn't pass it when there's a player free, and if he does, he doesn't pass it very well. So he's not that person who can make space for themselves and pick out that killer's pass like Eriksen used to, and like many other players used to. I mean, you mentioned Modric, you know, those kind of players that could do that thing, right?
Yeah, but he picked workers. I think the whole team is based on the principles of hard work, and then you throw in some spice at the end. I think it was a good time to put in Ndombele, because was it after they got the man sent off? He came on
just before.
It was like the 82nd minute.
Yeah, but we had like the control and the structure, and he came in and he could do his stuff. So I think that the timing made sense to me, put him in.
He didn't do his stuff. The point I'm asking you is the thing that you've got these three players that are supposed to be these things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a short time though.
Yeah.
No, they're not really up to that job, are they?
No, they're not.
Would you like to see all of them go, or not?
I'd be happy for all of them to go. To be honest.
Do we after this performance, do we want to keep Lo Celso?
I think it's a frustrating, but it's a new start. You have to remember, if he tries to drill a shape, then you have to give them the opportunity. And I think based on the history of these players, it was the right setup from the start. And because you always build a team from work rate, solidity, and I think he picked players for this, and then you throw in some spice at the end when it's open, when players are a bit tired. So he took a calculated risk with Ndombele and Lo Celso, and he had a good through ball there, Lo Celso. I think and the shot was very close.
Oh man, if he'd put that ball in, we'll all be
that's true.
All right, so let's go on to the truth, the front two, which I'm much more concerned about. I thought let's first thing get this out of the way. I thought Son had a really bad game, really, really poor game.
Yeah.
He couldn't run with the ball, he couldn't pass the ball, he couldn't cross the ball. He created very little, he created nothing. I was completely looked out of sorts. Harry Kane. I mean, I don't even know where to start, what to say. I mean, what was that performance? Yeah. He put in a couple of good balls. He did one for Reguilon, who should have done a lot better. But, we hope that would have been Son at the end of that one, when he skied it right over basically an empty net. It was a hard take. But remember that just before the end of the first half? He did that. He put in a couple of good balls. But what the hell's going on with Harry Kane? Jam, what do you think?
I mean, it's got to be a combination of lack of confidence and mentality not being there, and also fitness. He looks out of it. He's never in the position he needs to be when, just stand on the center on the penalty spot and just wait there all match. That's what I want to see, Kane. Just remember how to be a center forward instead of trying to be your number 10 role that you play, and get back to basics is what he needs to do. Which I mean, we haven't seen Kane score a goal since he scored in the Europa League all those weeks ago when he got a hat trick. And honestly, that was, it was against nobody, but it was a really well taken hat trick. There was some impressive goals. But other than that, even like I've said a few times, he hasn't done anything for England in all these international breaks. It's not like he doesn't want to play for England,
But what's going on? What's the answer here?
The answer is it's simple. Drop him.
Yeah, but I think
remind him that he's not the best player in the world, and he has to work for his spot.
I think he needs to grow with the rest of the team, because we have had a bad patch, and he can't do it by himself. He needs also to implement all the changes that Conte does. It's a team effort now to get up to higher levels, and he's playing so many matches. Think about it. The guy is
he's not doing very much. You could call it playing.
Yeah, he looks jaded, and he needs to get back to. I think he needs the psychology bit from Conte as well. I think he lost it under Nuno. He was terrible under Nuno the last matches. So it takes time. It will take. It's like Conte said: work. We need to work. That's it.
Like your Italian accent there.
Very good.
That was it, basically.
Well, all right, so takeaways from the game then, guys. What was your main takeaway? Everyone, give us one takeaway, Jam.
I'm gonna my takeaway is gonna be I'm gonna trust Conte. He was satisfied with the draw. I'm happy to. Early days for him. Better things to come.
Nico?
It will breed confidence, not losing. We had a solid shape. You can see the players are buying into the instructions. So I'm pleased with the points, for sure.
I think my takeaway is I can see what Conte is trying to do. I can see that the speed which is moving. I think the movement of the speed is so much better. There seems to be more urgency on the field in the way that we played before. We were 3-0 down and we're passing between ourselves at the back with zero urgency. That's gone. But frankly, my biggest takeaway from this is I don't think there's a lot of players that are just frankly not good enough. They're just, it doesn't matter how hard they try and how whatever they do, they just are not cutting it in terms of the standard that we need if we're going to start winning something. And if you look at the other teams, I think it's very clear that this team is still not anywhere near where it needs to be. And maybe that is, as Nico, you say, a fitness issue, and give him more time to work on it. But at this moment in time, you take a destroyed Nuno team and expect them to do anything apart from what they did today. I think that we're lucky we got what we did. I'll also say we were playing against an Everton team that could not afford to lose either.
Yeah, I mean, they worked really hard.
And they needed to because of what's been going on in their team. So it was going to be a hard game either way.
Yeah.
So just on a final note, I just say that we haven't got a game for another 2 weeks, is it? Does anyone know that international?
Yeah,
break
it's international break coming up.
So this should give Conte some time to play with some of the players that are not in the international setup, right?
There's a lot of them too that are going to be there. You got Dyer, you got Ali, you got Tanguy is not getting into the French team.
Very good.
Too many.
That's very good. That's very good that he has these players to work with. He is a very good coach and a systematic person, and we need all the other players to contribute so that Kane will grow. And I think it's a good time to get the international break. I think so.
I think that's why everyone's firing all their managers, because we've lost, this week. There's a few been going. The other thing, just to add to that, then is, I was about to say that Conte's got this time to gel with the players. We should expect a much better and stronger team to come out of this. You'd hope that maybe if Harry Kane wasn't selected for England, that would do us a lot of good.
Yeah, he will, but he's so important.
He's captain it.
Yeah, he's going to play for sure.
Right. So next game, Jem. Anyone know what the next game is?
I'm honestly not sure. I haven't looked that far ahead.
I'll get it for you right now. So our next game is going to be
Leeds.
It's going to be Leeds.
Very nice.
Leeds.
We might have a European game before that against Moore or at home.
No, Moore is after that.
After that. So next game is Leeds at home on the 21st. So we've got 2 weeks literally before we go back into the Premier League. And Leeds drew today, so that should be an interesting, very interesting game. Just to add to that, I did see a article of when Conte at the beginning of his career was sat in the lecture room learning from Bielsa giving lectures on how to be a coach.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Not surprising.
So maybe Conte can give Bielsa some lessons in 2 weeks' time.
But it was so refreshing to see him today, standing there passionate and guiding the players. Oh, I love it.
Like you've said, he kicks every ball. And it's good to see. And you could see it. I mean, this was the first time in a long time that I've enjoyed a Tottenham match. It was entertaining football. It was, after 20 minutes, I said, if we lose this match, I'm still more content than I have been in weeks.
I think one of our commentators that I was listening to said one very important point, and that was if Conte can't do anything with this team, then you can basically give up because there's nobody out there that would be.
Yeah, we tried everything. Absolutely.
No, and if Conte does turn this current team of players into something successful, I mean, that's going to be one of his highest managerial success stories. So, only future will tell. But
I think we start off with, let's Conte get a shot on target first.
Yeah.
That was the start. Right. Then maybe
shame the hit in the post doesn't count as on target,
But unfortunately, it doesn't. And I thought that the one which hit, we had a shot that hit, the player got in the way and it hit his head and it went over. That was from Regulon. That was on target.
Yeah.
That didn't count as a shot on target either because it hit the player. So I'd rather get a shot on target, maybe get us a few goals, and we'll work our way up from there. So
there you go.
Final thoughts, Nico, from you?
I'm just I'm a bit excited to see which role Ali will play in. He will get a chance. I think maybe he will play in the support role again and behind Kane or Son or something. And this is his final chance now to actually show that he wants something as a player. He has a desire, and I haven't given up on him quite yet. One more chance. So I'm excited to see him.
All right. Well, I hope you're right. I mean, he's going to have 2 weeks to drill something into this guy. I think if we see Ali back on the field now, Delhi on this field, it's because Conte sees something and he's managed to get something out of him in these 2 weeks. Jam, your final thoughts?
And I think that's really interesting with Ali, because what I want to see is one of either Son, Kane, or Lucas dropped, and I don't want to see them playing as a front three until they've proven that they can play that in training or whatever. But what we're missing is that link between let them push up a little higher, the two strikers push up higher, and have someone in the middle, either in Ndombele or Ali or even Lo Celso, trying to play the strings. Because defensively, it seems like Conte has got them to understand what he wants from them, and so we just build on that. We know who are not just the back five, but with the two centre mids, we know what those 7 players are going to do. We need to work on the attacking side.
I think for me, I'd like to see Brian Gill get fit, come behind, start playing ahead of Regulon, with both of them running down that side. They could create some serious problems for any other team. I think that would mean that one of either Skip or Højbjerg have to drop off, have to leave the team, and we get another player in there that can play a bit more, can create as well as defend. I mean, I don't know if we should have been Lo Celso or Anomaly. I'm not sure which one is good enough at this stage. But I think that will make it much more exciting for us. So that will be my take. But he's obviously injured, so we have got that to look forward to as well.
Yeah, he will have an assessment of the squad, and I'm not sure he will go into the market now. The time before Christmas, he has to do some exploring with these players. So because they are very expensive players, and it's hard to get rid of them. So it's another chance. Yeah.
Right, everyone. I mean, just a quick. I know it's 2 weeks away, but just a quick prediction. What do you think is going to happen with the Leeds game, then, Jem?
I'm hoping we win. So let's go with a 3-1.
3-1. Nico?
Yeah, I'm confident. I think it will be 2-0.
2-0.
I win.
I'm going to go for a 2-1. I think Leeds always have a goal in them. I'm hoping that at least the only way we're going to get a goal is by having a shot on target. So let's start with at least 5 to 6 shots on target. Yeah?
That's a good prediction.
Okay, guys. So thanks very much, and see you soon in the next live stream or after the next game. So all I say, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
And goodbye from Florida.
Bye from Jam in Connecticut.
Bye from Norway, Tromsø.
All right. Thank you.